Once upon a time, it was you and only you. Your struggles, the circumstances, everything that you've been through, the ideas, the thoughts, and the beliefs. Once upon a time, your life was created and you were the main character. This is the story of you. And that is what I want to talk about today. I want to debunk the story of you, the story of me. You see, how many of you feel like you are the most important person in the world? Maybe you don't, maybe you do, but it's so very, very common that this is the case. Others call it selfish, egotistical, greedy. You're always out for you, right? Survival of the fittest. We all know this. We've heard about it. We've felt it. Most of us probably feel this way. Maybe we don't even know that this is how we're acting or the energy that we put off. But the story of us is what keeps us alive, they say. The ego, survival, right? It makes us so we don't walk in front of a car or cut ourselves or burn ourselves on the stove. But I want to debunk this because when the story of us becomes reality, when the story of me, the story of you, whatever you want to say, the story of separation becomes reality, we tend to suffer. We tend to become victims of our believed circumstances. Many of us don't even know this story is a story. Many of us, in other words, call it life. We call it us, the way I am, the type of person I am, the boundaries that I set, the things I agree with and don't agree with. What seems so very normal, what seems to be reality, is nothing but a mere illusion. Now, is it a useful illusion? To a point, because once again, we don't want to run in front of that car, right? We don't want to burn ourselves on that stove. But how many of you can relate to this feeling of you, this reality that's been manifesting as your life, making you feel like you're disconnected or you're isolated or you're suffering? Now that is far too often the common theme here of these stories, the common narrative. And we sure can't forget the narration, the narrator of the story, right? The thoughts, right? The voice we believe is so personal that sounds like us. We'll point to our head and say the voice in our head. We all know this too. The narration of narrating life step by step. So now we have a story with a narrator and a main character. And this is what we call reality. And this is the tightly constructed illusion that we're going to take a look at today. Because I'm expressing this and sharing this with you guys in this deconstruction of the story of you, of me, whatever we want to say, because I fully believed the story. Matter of fact, all I believed was the story. I've shared this many times, but the story was all life was for me. Living inside of my head, living in a world of thoughts, of imagination, wondering why I was so frustrated so often, short tempered and uptight, and fearful of absolutely nothing. Truthfully, I felt so discombobulated, disconnected, and isolated. I didn't want to look people in the eyes. Now, this is when the story manifests as a nightmare in a sense. But once again, it's so subtle, we don't even know that it is an illusion. We don't know that we are creating this by believing this and giving life to this because we don't see what is here now. All we see is this. We've gotten so used to thinking as life. We've gotten so used to the senses as reality. In this combination of thinking and the senses wrapped into a bundle tends to create a nightmare in a world that we think we are navigating. See, this is the true secret to happiness. This is the glitch in the matrix that many of us can never face, can never look at directly because our VR headset is strapped too tight. We must look and see and remember what is here now. And all that is here now is now. In other words, the present moment. And we have filtered, interpreted, well, we put a filter of interpretation on this arising, this now. And we have added so much coloring, content, feeling, sensation, and we call it us. And now we're the victim of this. Don't forget your expectations. It all adds to the story. You've been reading it for so long. The story has adjusted. It's become deeper. It's become darker. It's become brighter at times. You felt peace and clarity and you felt great. But then you turn the page and now it's a darker day, a darker experience. Now you're anxious, depressed. What I'm pointing to here is the mental creation of what we call us, of what we call reality, pure mental activity. But I could sit here and talk to you about this forever. You still probably won't see it because it's so ingrained. Many call it the subconscious mind. It's so ingrained to who you believe you are. It's so subtle that it truly misses you. Okay. It truly misses you because you don't know how to stand apart. Imagine wearing a costume for your whole life. You would not know what's truly when you remove the costume, would you? Because what you've seen in the mirror, what you've seen when you've looked down, what you've gotten used to people calling you by, what you've gotten used to living for so long is the costume, right? That's why it is so extremely hard and you may feel resistance to this video because your reality is all you have known. Freedom, true freedom is here now. It isn't about destroying that reality, it's about seeing through it. So, how do you deconstruct the story of me? Why would you even want to? Well, most often, as I mentioned, and most likely, if you're feeling any type of pain, if you're feeling any type of resistance, uncomfortable feelings, sensations, restlessness, a racing mind, other words, anxious, fearful, depression, isolation, a lot of that has to do with that story starting to eat you alive and you can't see your way out of it. So you go to therapy. You try to make the story better. You try to make the main character easier to get along with, which is you, right? You try to see through the story by taking medications. Maybe this will calm everything down and the story will subside. You can't fix the story from within the story, but you don't fight the story. You don't get rid of it, destroy it. See, that's the beauty of it. You're just missing what's here, what allows the story to even be known, to even be expressed in the manifestation of your perceived reality, right? It is the one reality that gives ground to the perceived realities, the one dreamer of the dream, consciousness, awareness, knowing itself, God, only seeing God, but forgetting it is God in essence. What you must do is see what is here now. In other words, in the simplest terms, slow down. Seriously, slow down and smell the roses. See that you're not moving. See that you're not going anywhere. You're safe. Everything's okay. What is reality and where is reality? It's time to maybe sit with this meditation. What I'm pointing you to here, and I'm saying it in many different flavors so it can reach many different ears, is the present moment is now. But yet, it's all there is. It isn't a moment that is fleeting, coming and going, and in between a past and a future. Right now is all there is, guys. And if you can leave now, I'd like for you to tell me when you do that, because you can't. We have never left now. The whole experience of life, what we would say birth and death, and everywhere in between is now. We never actually have the experience of being born. or the experience of dying. The only true experience being had, but not an experience as in the essence of fleeting, coming and going, or passing by. The overwhelming conclusion of life that you can come to without the mind, without a theory, without even truly thinking is this: you don't have to do anything to exist. You don't have to do anything to know that I am. You say it all the time. I am anxious. I am scared. I am struggling. I am suffering. I am. I am. I am. Stop. That's you. That's it. Everything else is a story. Everything else is a thought, an image, or a memory, which is all of that wrapped together. Where are you now? What is here now? I am. Simple, ordinary, maybe boring to you, but it deconstructs the system. It deconstructs the story of me. And therefore, freedom wasn't found, searched for, or gained. It was remembered. Guys, the Core Collective is now open for you to join for free and get access to parts of the Core Collective, access to the community, and access to the Remembering Who You Are course that includes a meditation and a free guide. I know many of you loved my 3 Pillars of Truth guide and my Embodied Living Blueprint. Those guides will also here soon be inside of the Core Collective for you. So you are welcome to join us in the Core Collective now for free. I would love to see you there. Members are coming in regularly, and it's beautiful. And I'm very excited for how this could blossom with all of us together. And inside of there, it is a place to return to and deconstruct the story by seeing what is here, resting with what is, and letting the mental activity pass by and no longer grabbing onto it with all of your strength and might. No more clinging, no more grasping, allowing. But yet, allowing is truly all there is. So, in essence, no more resisting, simply being, simply now. So, that link will be down below if you'd like to join us inside. I hope I see you there. Take care, guys.